Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
How goes it?
It goes. So we were talking about you were talking about food purchases and cheapness of some of the things that you bought and salt.
Uh-huh.
So I've been watching a lot of Survivor, Australian Survivor, over the past couple of weeks of
Okay.
having nothing else to do, and I sat there and I realized that at one of the challenges they won things like spices, salt, pepper, this, that, the other, and I was always like, wow, they've been eating all this bland, rice and beans for all these days. How weird would it be to go from weeks of eating just completely bland everything to all of a sudden you finally get to spice some things up?
Yeah.
Then I was like, wait a minute here. I know you're not allowed to sit there and drink ocean water because of how salty it is.
Right.
Is there something wrong with using the ocean water to cook your rice and beans?
They've done that before. I've seen them salt stuff with ocean water.
I mean, actually, just use the ocean water as your instead of getting fresh water. Because I always watch them fill up the pot with fresh water, and because I was watching them fill up their bottles, and they come over and fill up the pot with fresh water. And I was like, wait a minute here. If they're just excited about salt now, everything that they're cooking is boiled.
Right.
You could either do all ocean water, some fresh water with some ocean water in it for can you do that, or is there something inherently wrong with that? I don't know the answer.
No, you can definitely use ocean water to cook with. Absolutely.
And there's not going to be all of a sudden it's so salty. If I use straight ocean water.
I feel like you probably want to cut it. And it's gonna not.
It's like I cut this shit with some fresh water.
Yeah, no, I mean for real. And then sell it by the gram. But there's not. It's not just water and salt that makes the ocean water, though. You got to think there's a lot of other flavors in there. You're gonna get. You're gonna get a fishy flavor too.
Yeah, I mean, but a lot of times they're eating fish too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I've seen this been done on Survivor. I saw them use ocean water for a stew or something they were making one time.
Yeah, I'd love to rewatch that episode, or I watched it recently to remember, because to me, I'm just watching these people, and I'm like, I feel like you're missing out if it's that bland to you all the time, and you're so excited that you got salt. You've had salt by you constantly.
It was some guy that they referred to as their chef or something too. Maybe he was a chef. I don't know. But there was a guy
he was the first person that was like, guys, you realize that there's salt right there in the freaking ocean, right?
I wonder what Google says about cooking with seawater.
Yeah, because I was just sitting there thinking, you could make this so much better. And granted, it's not, you don't want to overdo it or something, but I would think that obtaining salt on Survivor as a prize almost would be like a slap in the face if you can really just use the ocean water, since you are boiling everything.
Yeah, there's literally, so I typed cooking with seawater, and the suggestions Google gave me was cooking pasta or cooking rice with seawater.
Right, or beans, or cooking on Survivor with seawater.
And so the Google result basically says seawater is, as you know, very salty, on average 35 grams per liter. So if you would like to use it for cooking, mix half tap water and half seawater. And be sure to boil the seawater first for a few minutes before adding any food, just to make sure any microorganisms that might be there to contaminate the water have been killed.
So if I ever go on Survivor, I'm straight up out of the gate doing half and half and just being the champions. Everybody's gonna be like, well, you gotta do it on day 3 or 4 and act like it's
yeah, right.
So that they think that you're now a genius after they've had this bland stuff for a couple days.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. In fact, the third result here is about this place in Spain, this 5-star restaurant that uses seawater in their cooking on purpose.
I mean, I just wonder why they don't. Either people aren't doing it, or
they may not be showing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Or they don't show it. But God, these people got so excited about winning some salt. I mean, it was salt and pepper, but it wasn't a whole spice rack, which I've seen before.
Yeah.
Which that can be a whole different thing. It was literally salt and pepper, and I think that was it. Spice wise. So I think it was they won salt, pepper, and coffee. And they weren't using the coffee for flavoring; they were using it for drinking coffee.
Right.
But God, they were so excited about that salt and pepper, and I was like, man, I can't imagine going bland. And I was like, wait a minute here, could have had this the whole time.
It's kind of interesting to see how cooking has evolved on that show because of previous seasons. Like, everyone knows about the coconut popcorn, for example. You see that every season now because one person started doing it, and then everyone did it.
Yeah, I think you just see them now basically eating it. They don't even talk about cooking it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just like it's there being done.
Right.
I also still find it sad. Like, granted, I'm watching. I'm not keeping up with what's going on in the newest American Survivor that's on. Because my wife and I watched that one together, and we watched a couple episodes, and then she's been gone for a while. I know you're like a whole season behind, but I'm like, watching the Australian stuff, and damn, the Enderman came like flying up at me in the middle of the day, and it's the same. They're doing the same type of cooking stuff that everybody else does, but nobody's hungry ever.
Yeah, I've noticed that too in the Australian Survivor. It seems like they either have a better handle on the cooking or something. Yeah. But
and they'll go to challenges and they'll be like, "Oh, God, it's like 3 meals by now. We haven't had anything. I'm so hungry." But then it shows them just sitting there eating like rice and beans at the next scene. Like, they never run out of rice and beans.
Right.
It never shows them like divvying it out or proportioning. It's just like they just constantly have it, and it never seems to go away.
Right.
And I mean, maybe that's like some weird OSHA thing. Granted, Australian, I have no idea. But even seeing it in American Survivor, maybe they're just like, yeah. You can't starve your people.
Well, that's the thing, is back in the day, you fucking could. I mean, they weren't going to let you die, but like, you absolutely could be starving, and they would be like, all right, well, you're starving. Makes for good TV. But now they're just like, okay, well, I guess here's some more rice and beans. We'll take away your flint and steel or whatever. It's stupid. I want to see someone die.
Well, I do get really mad that the first reward challenge always seems to be for a flint and steel.
Yeah.
And then well, that's fine. And then at the very first immunity challenge, whoever goes to tribal council, they're like, here, now that you're done, here's your flint and steel. And it's like, no, make them earn that shit still. Like, why are you just giving it to them?
I mean, I guess since they're allowed to leave with their torches still lit, that's the thought process. Well, they have fire now, but they should at least have to make it still keep going or whatever.
Then they get out there, they have to keep it going, or they have to get it started again. Like, I mean, I think that's part of the excitement. They gotta win that shit. I do find the Australian version of Survivor so much more interesting because they're all so much nicer to each other, even when they're like just backstabbing each other. When it's all said and done, they're like, yeah, man, good play. Like,
have you heard of Twitch watch parties
for Survivor?
Well, I mean, first off, in general, have you heard of Twitch watch parties?
No, I mean, I've heard of watch parties and I've heard of Twitch. I've never put them together to know where you're going.
It's a new thing. Like, it just got released like weeks ago at this point.
So what are they watching?
So that's the thing. Twitch is owned by Amazon, and Amazon's got that Amazon Prime Video. So Twitch released a thing, or Amazon, however you want to look at it, released a thing a couple weeks ago called Watch Parties. It's not been that long ago at all. And basically, the way it works is you and any of your viewers that are also Twitch Prime members can watch things together. It opens up in its own little application that you're streaming, and they can watch whatever on Twitch Prime with you at the same time. Now, if you go back and watch the VOD of it later, the video's not there because the only way to see the video is if you are a Twitch Prime viewer. So it makes the VODs a little bit weird. Like if I was to do a watch party right now and you didn't have Twitch Prime and you tuned into my stream, you could still open my stream. All you would see is my face staring at a screen and occasionally like laughing or commenting, but you wouldn't know what the hell I was laughing at or commenting on. So it's a little awkward in that regard. But this week ago, they added Survivor to the list of things.
Normal Survivor? Or?
Yeah, American Survivor. So there
Should we start at season 1? Just
so that's the thing. They've added like 10 seasons.
Have a watch party from the beginning, and like it'll be the biggest marathon. We watch one season in one sitting, and then we sleep, and then we watch another season, another sitting.
Oh my god, that'd be so hard.
Well, because they're 24 episodes a piece or something like that.
Yeah, something like.
Well, I guess
no.
no. Hold on, I'm thinking of the Australian
Yeah,
ones.
that's like
The Australian
13 or
ones are
something.
longer, so yeah, they might only be 15.
But I don't think they have every season on there. They don't have the latest seasons yet. I know that because I was like, oh, I'm actually interested in this. I would because so far the watch party stuff hasn't interested me. I looked at what they have on there, and none of it's anything I cared about watching. And then this week they added Survivor, and I was like, oh shit, I haven't watched the last season. This is perfect. I'll go watch the last season and do it with people. But they don't have the 28th the last season they have on there. I think they're on 30 something now.
Do you want to know?
Yeah.
The season that they're airing right now is season 40.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they're well behind.
Because remember, there's 2 a year. It's been 20 years.
Well, there's not always been 2 a year though.
Yeah, there actually has.
Really? I thought some years they didn't complete that.
Oh, they're on season 40 right now, and they made season 40 special because it's the all winners.
Okay. I didn't know this was season 40. I didn't know if you.
Yep.
I didn't know if you were saying that based on the math, or if you knew that for sure. Okay.
No. I know for sure that it's season
For
40.
sure.
for sure.
Okay. Well, either way, the latest season's not there, sadly. But I don't know if the first
and the one
there.
that you're behind on, which is season 39.
Yeah, well, that's what I was. I thought the one I was behind on was season 30 for some reason. I had that in my head. Obviously, I was wrong. But for some reason, I was thinking it was 30, and they stopped at like 28. So I was like, well, I guess I can't participate in this yet. But no, not for a long time.
I'm trying to understand. Like, I guess you're Amazon. You own Twitch. So it's not really any harm and any foul to you because you're not giving away your content for free. It's still only there for people who have Prime. But
Right.
What a weird concept.
Yeah.
That we're going to let you sit there and stream this with your friends as long as they're also paying for this.
Right. I mean, basically everyone here owns this product, so you may now watch it together. I think it's a cool idea. I also think, in a way, they're using Twitch streamers to sell Prime, because
they absolutely are.
Like if you went
if
to
they
my
find a streamer they want to go hang out with, quote unquote,
right?
Then yeah. I mean, I guess in a way. It's kind of so weird. I'm so torn on this one because in a way I think about it, and I guess it's just like what going to the movies is, right? Everybody has to buy their own ticket.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The whole thing it almost seems like if I could watch it as a rerun on something that, these are old seasons that have gone out there before. Like, you're going to be able to find them somewhere being played on a rerun.
Not legally, though.
I just mean on TV.
Oh no, they don't show reruns of Survivor.
Survivor, maybe not, but other things that are on Amazon Prime,
sure.
they do.
You're
like,
right. Like
it's
just kind of Justin watched like Jackass 3 with his community one night. That's one of the ones that's on there, and he said that was real weird because there's like full dicks and stuff, and he's like, "Well, look at that dick," But I guess he's not actually broadcasting the dick.
So wow, that's interesting. Are you allowed to have? You're not allowed to have any nudity on Twitch, right? It's against the terms of service.
As long as, I mean, like for instance, that game Outlast, whatever that horror game was, where there was always dick swinging in your face. That's like, if it's artistic, it's allowed. But yeah,
Is Jackass really artistic?
Well, that's the thing. You're not actually broadcasting Jackass to Twitch. It's being played in everyone's player from Amazon Prime. The only thing you're broadcasting to Twitch is your face.
I mean, what's the raciest thing that's on Amazon Prime?
That's the thing. Not everything that's on Amazon Prime can be part of a watch party either. They have this like a special list of watch party items.
I wonder. I mean, it's an interesting like I don't want to like put somebody down because it's a new concept. It's got my intrigue a little bit just because it's a different concept. But I don't know. I just feel
Jeff is not sold.
No, just only because you're making everybody have. I can almost see it being used better to help promote your streamers themselves by saying if you're subscribed to this person, you can see it. Like if you have an Amazon Prime account or if you're subscribed to this streamer. And then I would kind of be okay with it because it
There's
gives you an
probably
option.
laws preventing this, honestly.
You think so? You think it's like the I guess it could be the agreements that the studios have with Amazon Prime that
I mean,
they can't.
it's basically like back in the day whenever you bought a VHS and it was like, if there's any fucking body in your room, you better not be watching this shit. You know, no watch parties. This is basically whatever that stupid thing said at the start of every movie. So I think it probably falls under some of that, like that guidelines.
Yeah, I guess it could. I mean that makes sense. It might not even be Amazon's fault. It could be the agreements that they have or the regulations that exist. Hey, you're not.
You know, my daughter's school, the PTO, they did this. They showed Aladdin right after it came out on DVD, and they sold tickets to it, and they broadcast it like in the playground, basically, one of those big inflatable movie screens. And
Okay.
I bet there was like 400 people there. There was so many people there, and I wasn't part of the PTO then, and I haven't asked since. But I'm not convinced they did that legally.
It's kind of funny because the fire department, we do movies in the park in the summer as a fundraiser, but we don't charge tickets to the event. It's a free thing that we put on that we get donations at.
That still doesn't make it legal though.
Well, and that's what I never even thought about the fact that we are just like playing somebody else's work to public. And yeah, I don't know if we have some as a nonprofit organization like that if we have some kind of loophole. I've never looked into it legally.
No, I don't think there's any loophole that you get to rebroadcast movies as a nonprofit.
Jesus Christ, I went swimming with a dolphin and it's so fast.
Yeah, I had that happen at UHC
Oh my
recently,
God.
and I was not expecting the speed boost that I got from that. That's funny. Yeah, I think y'all are just breaking the law.
It's a good possibility.
I'm
A
pretty sure
very
my daughter's
possibility.
school was too, though. So,
Hey, what software is your daughter's school using for?
so this is a thing that
Oh, it is a thing. That's why I asked.
yeah, there's no consistency across the grade levels, the teachers, and the schools, and the districts. There's no consistency. So I have to have a lot of different apps installed on her iPad, because, well, I guess for me, I have to have a lot of different apps installed because she's also doing, so like her classroom uses an application called Seesaw, but a lot of classrooms use Dojo as well. So there's half the classrooms.
Never even heard of these. Are these LMSs?
Um,
Learning management systems? Is that what they are? These softwares are?
so I don't know what, I don't know
You ever
what,
heard of have you ever heard of Blackboard?
no.
Or Canvas?
I'm not gonna know. No, just you can
Okay.
stop. I promise I won't know of any of these.
Or
Yeah, you can just say words. I mean, ever heard of Redstone? um,
Red Sheep? That's the
yeah.
one? Torch?
So last year, her classroom used Dojo, and it's just basically a place where teachers can post messages to parents without like actually giving out phone numbers or anything like that. You can also post like pictures, video, that sort of thing. It looks like Seesaw might be more robust. This year, the teacher was like, "I use Seesaw," and that's the thing. Each teacher decides what they use, and this was decided long before the pandemic.
And this is, I was gonna say, and this is just normal time,
Right. And this is just to communicate with the parents, to have the kids post stuff that parents can see, the teacher can post stuff that parents can see, etc. And so I don't know if Dojo has the same capability, because once this became a homeschool thing, she can post activities in Dojo, and there's like easily clickable links and stuff. Easy click to submit your work after you do it. There's easy ways for the teacher to like put check marks on things or point to certain things and say work on this or that. She posts videos each day doing like a book reading and stuff. So that's the main thing we're using for the schoolwork. But then her classroom meets several times a week as well, not every day, and they use Google Meets for that. Which I installed Google Hangouts at first, and that's apparently there's something different. There's Google Meet as well. I don't know the fucking difference between the two applications. But then her dance studio is using Zoom and something called Band. She has a lot of apps just to do all the different things that she does. But like the school, not everyone's using Seesaw or Dojo. They're using different things. So like depending on what teacher you had, there's something different being used. And I feel like if this goes on, especially into the next school year, then there's going to have to be some kind of standard set. Yeah.
No, I agree. And well, the one I was kind of like curious to hear you said was going to be Zoom because, you know, that
Zoom's not being used at all except for her by her dance studio. And I really want to drive over there and fix their shit, honestly, because like for one thing, they don't have their setup hardwired, and there's no one in the dance studio, so there's no fucking reason they can't run a Cat 5, Cat 6 cable to this to the
across
setup.
The floor.
Right. Like there's no one's gonna be tripping on it. Like their setup is awful. Like the connections, just everything is not great. Everything is awful, and like it could be fixed. These are all things that are fixable, but that just I don't think they have anyone that's tech savvy or whatever. And so that's one thing that I've been frustrated by with them is just like you have problems that need to be fixed, and you could fix them. And you're still charging me $135 a month for whatever the fuck this is now.
Wow, I didn't realize that they weren't going to change your prices at all.
No, my fucking gym is doing the same thing. My gym is literally offering online instructions and still charging me my $45 fee, and her fucking swim class is giving you a 50% discount while she can't take swim.
50% discount?
Yeah. So instead of $88 a month, it's $44.
I think that's great because Planet Fitness, who I belong to, and I haven't really used them, but you got them at the beginning of the year because I was going to get in shape, you know, and then all this happened. I'm blaming it on this, not my laziness.
Yeah, totally.
Like, it was, for sure. So I've only had them for like 2 months before everything really started hitting the fan. But Planet Fitness, the $10 a month fitness club, they were like, we have cut all membership fees right now. Like, you will not be charged until this is over. Once they had to close their gyms down, like they were just like shut that shit down. Like,
so I called to cancel my membership with the gym, and
go in.
Yeah, they want me to come in and sign something. And I'm like, well, when are y'all open? Oh, we can't be open. The governor's got it ruled that we can't be open.
But you can't. Oh, that's fucked up, man.
And so today they sent out an email, and this was hilarious to me because the email was like, yeah, we're getting a lot of requests for people that want to rent our equipment during this time period or even buy it from us since we're not using it and everything. But we're not going to be able to do that because really there wouldn't be enough for everyone for one thing. And we're using this time to sanitize our equipment. Like, motherfucker, you've been closed for a month. How much sanitizing do you need? Like, I mean, well, I don't care. I don't want to rent your or buy your shit. But that's the dumbest reason I've ever heard.
I mean, I'm very glad that they didn't at least say, but we need to keep it so we open back up because we're running out of money.
Well, no, that was the other thing. Then they went on about all the upgrades they're doing while no one could be there. They're like, oh, wait till you come back. And I was like, I bet you are all the fucking money you're making off of people that can't go in their place. They also can't cancel their account.
Yeah. Without having to have anybody paid to be there.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is. I saw a bunch of posts on like Reddit and stuff that like Ticketmaster and StubHub are now no longer reimbursing canceled tickets.
Really?
And I was just like, how can you get away with that shit?
I mean,
like, I feel that there's going to be just lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after this is over. Granted, people won't be able to afford the lawsuits because, you know, the broke paying for their tickets and stuff that they didn't utilize.
Like, I'll probably, if this goes much longer, I'll probably call them back and tell them if they don't cancel my account, I'm just going to start doing chargebacks. Because, like, I don't want to, so basically the thing is their rates have changed. So if I cancel my account and start a new account, for one thing, I'd have to sign a new contract for X amount of, like, for a full year or whatever. And the rate has gone up from whenever I signed up. So, like, if I cancel my account and get a new account once all this is over, like, my rate per month would be more expensive. And if my daughter continues to do swim, then, you know, like, I would be basically having to be a member again. So I was going to kind of hold off and see what happened, but it is expensive to hold off and see what happens, I guess. So yeah, I don't know, but it is kind of scammy a little bit.
A little bit. It seems very scammy. Well, I mean, how can you have a legit business that takes membership fees that when you can't use the fees that the thing that you're paying those fees for because they're closed, that they can continue to take their money? Especially when you have like the little mom and pop. Granted, Planet Fitness is probably a huge like moneymaker because they took advantage of a freaking expensive market and were like, let's make it cheap, and people actually like do something with this, which they turn out to be right because they're pretty big and expanding all the time, and they were instantly like, boom, shut down. Nobody's getting charged because that's ridiculous. And they're offering some online shit. I haven't looked at it yet, but they have some online like aerobics thing or something.
Oh yeah, that's what they're doing for all this, and they even like there's even some paid courses that they
for free because they're stopped charging membership.
Right. Yeah, no, like one of the things they sent an email about like 2 days ago was this thing that normally you would pay for, some kind of nutritionalist online thing that the membership's like $20 a month. They're like, we've given all of you free access to this. It's not even their service; it's some third party service, but they probably worked out some cheap deal and then signed us all up for it, basically. So that's part of where our money is going, that they're still charging us each month. It's to this thing that no one asked for. So yeah,
that is so fucked up.
I got an email from my car insurance, Nationwide specifically, yesterday, and it said because of all of everything that's going on, don't worry, we got your back. We're gonna give everyone a $50 refund for their annual car insurance.
I mean, $50 is better than nothing. I will say that mine has said that something like 15%.
Oh, that's much better because let's see. That would
well,
be...
but it's so weird to me because I didn't even think about things like the car insurance and this, that, the other, because I'm still driving my normal. I can't say my normal. I guess it is limited, but not as limited as most people out there because I'm still, going to work and things like that every day, going to the fire department. But I guess I'm not doing as much recreational stuff, so it is less than normal, but still regular to me. But it wasn't even if you're affected. It was just, here's a blanket email that says we're going to give you some type of discount. I thought it was 15%.
That's
and I was
definitely
like,
better than the $50.
Yeah, I was like, that just seems,
based on
that
what
seems
I pay.
that seems nice, and I wouldn't have expected something like that out of the insurance companies because you still have to insure your vehicles.
Right. I mean, yeah, no, I'm not shitting on them for doing this. I just thought it was funny, like this arbitrary number. Like, I mean, some people's insurance would be way more expensive than mine. Some's way cheaper than mine. Like,
right. Yeah, I do find a blanket number a weird gesture. And almost if you're going to make it that little, like, it's a lot of payout for the company for like really not appeasing your fan.
Like, hell, that's a lot of work to do that, I'm sure. Like, someone's just got at least job security out of it, I guess. I have not done anything this episode. I just don't know what to do anymore. I'm so out of things to do. I want to build this storage thing down here, but I'm just too dumb to do it. So there's that.
I had to call the DMV because my Ford Explorer, my 2004 Ford Explorer that I bought years ago, that for some reason the district still thinks there's a goddamn lien on. There hasn't been a car since 2006. They didn't even move to the district until 2010. They still think that there's a lien on the vehicle. And so now I have to get paperwork and prove to them that there is, is no lien on it. So I have the paperwork, and I call the number to find out, like, now how do I get this to you guys so I can actually get the freaking title and get rid of this vehicle, donate it, sell it, like whatever I'm going to do to it. And the lady was like, well, the DMV opens back up on April 28th. I'm like, yeah, you say that now, but really, like, how do I go about getting this done? And she's like I said, the DMV is opening back up on the 28th. I'm like,
not.
I'm like, yeah. I was like, and realistically, no, it's not. So what do I do?
Yeah.
How can I get this taken care of? So she probably gave me like the address that I can send it to. I guess it just takes longer when you go through the address as opposed to just going in. You can get it all done if you just go in. But I'm assuming it's not going to open. And anything I can do to skip the goddamn DMV line. Like,
right.
Just let me, I will mail it in. You can take it for 2, 3, 4 weeks. I don't care as long as I don't have to go out of my way to go to the DMV.
Right. Yeah.
The only thing that sucks is I need a check for $26, and I have been out of checks for like 2 years because I don't write checks for any reason anymore.
Yeah, so. I'm pretty sure I have the same check because I still have crystal on them, in fact. But I asked when I got a divorce, I was like, do I need to get new checks? And they were like, nah, just keep using those. And so I probably will for the rest of my fucking life, the rate at which I use checks.
Yeah, that's the thing is I remember finally writing my last one, and I don't know if it was I was paying like the nanny or something one week, and it was like the last one in the box of checks that I had for 5 years.
Yeah. No, I've definitely had these definitely for 10 years for sure. When I was in high school, when I opened my first checking account, they had Garfield checks, and so I was like, I like Garfield. I'll get Garfield checks.
I like Garfields.
And I also got a leather Garfield checkbook thing. That was part of the options the bank had. I went all out with this whole Garfield thing. Well, for the rest of my life, apparently I have Garfield checks because that's where I started, and so I literally there's a checkbook sitting on my desk because I needed my routing number earlier, and I went and grabbed one, and it's still Garfield checks in my Garfield leather checkbook holder.
That's funny. Garfield.
One more. Well, no, I'll save it for the next episode. So yeah, we're out of time. Thanks for joining us.
All right, guys. See you.